Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever considered the fascinating idea that your inner self, your kindness, your overall disposition might actually, well, physically affect how you look?
It sounds almost out there, doesn't it? But
Uh-huh.
there's this teaching, yeah, that suggests someone who's genuinely kind, gentle, smiles a lot, they gradually become more beautiful.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? That connection between the inner world and how we present outwardly.
Definitely. And that's the perfect place to start our deep dive today. We're looking at a Dharma talk, Buddhist teaching from Thich Chang Kuang. This was at Tu Quang Pagoda in Kamau way back in May 2010.
Right, and the topic was deep karma.
That's it. Nang qua sao za in Vietnamese. And we're not just talking simple cause and effect, like you do good, get good back immediately.
No, this sounds much deeper, like a really intricate web stretching across,
Right.
well, lifetimes, right?
Exactly. The talk itself happened when they were getting ready for a big, groundbreaking ceremony, rebuilding the main hall of the pagoda, a huge gathering.
Ah, okay. So there was a practical side too, maybe asking for donations.
There was, yes, mentioning the need for funds for the construction. But the real core, the heart of the teaching, was understanding this deep karma.
So our mission today, for you listening and for us, is to really get to grips with how this karma works beyond the obvious stuff, those hidden influences maybe, and why intention is so powerful.
Precisely. Let's dive in. The talk kicks off by challenging how we usually explain things, Success, failure, is it just talent, effort, luck?
Yeah, we tend to stick to those explanations.
But the Buddhist perspective here introduces this idea of a hidden law,
Hmm.
karma,
Mm.
underlying everything, shaping events in ways we might not immediately see.
Like an unseen current. And there was that interesting point about just believing in karma.
Yes. The speaker suggests that simply having that inclination to believe might actually reflect past good deeds, an inherently kind nature, perhaps.
And the flip side, disbelief.
Well, the suggestion is that disbelief could uh, stem from a kind of subconscious fear, maybe apprehension about facing consequences from past negative actions. It's quite thought-provoking.
It really is. Makes you examine your own reaction. The talk uses an analogy, right, to show the long-term impact of actions.
The mango tree analogy, it's quite vivid. A single good deed helping build the pagoda, helping someone out, it's like planting that seed.
And like a tree, it grows and bears fruit for a long, long time.
Exactly. The idea is that the positive results can ripple through many lifetimes. It really stresses the significance of even small acts of goodness.
Okay, so from that broad idea, the speaker gets into more specific examples, like basic karma, things we might see day to day.
Yeah, things like being gentle, good-tempered. The teaching connects us directly to developing a more beautiful appearance over time. Consistently gentle, consistently smiling.
And wasn't there that sort of challenge? Like, try it for 5 years.
Yes. The playful challenge to listeners. Be genuinely kind and smile consistently for 5 years. See if your appearance improves, with that funny suggestion to, metaphorically sue the speaker at Tu Quang Pagoda if it doesn't work.
It's memorable, and it connects to other things too, like physical acts of reverence.
Right. Reverently bowing to the Buddha, Lo Fat Tien, is said to contribute to a more dignified appearance, a certain presence.
And offering flowers.
Offering flowers, too, to the Buddha or other sacred beings, is mentioned as enhancing outward appearance. But crucially, it's not just about surface beauty.
No, it's deeper. An attractiveness stemming from inner goodness. Makes sense.
And conversely, the talk addresses the negative side. Anger, being critical, disrespectful.
How does that manifest?
Well, it suggested these can lead to a less appealing appearance. There was even a specific mention of gossiping, bun tam, potentially affecting the mouth area. Like our inner state subtly molds our outer form.
It's a powerful idea. Now, one of the most striking stories was about that woman, the Buddhist devotee, who could somehow manifest money.
Ah, yes, that's a fantastic illustration of deep karmic causes. Despite some past gambling issues, she found that whenever she had a real need, the money would somehow appear.
Which seems incredible. What was the explanation?
The deep karmic reason given was from a past life. She wasn't wealthy, but when the Kamal Pagoda needed funds to finish the roof, she selflessly gave her savings, even parts of her own house. A huge sacrifice.
Wow. Giving up her own benefit for this major community project.
Exactly. That profound act resulted in this lifelong blessing, this fulfillment of wishes when needed. It really underlines the idea that it's our ethics, our merit that travels with us, not possessions.
Which brings us to that really common question, that paradox people see. Why do good people sometimes suffer while, seemingly bad people seem to get ahead?
It's a tough one. The speaker acknowledges this observation. It's something many people notice and struggle with. The explanation lies in the complexity of karma across many lives.
So what we see now is just a snapshot.
Precisely. It's just one frame in a very long movie. The talk uses an example. Someone might seem kind, but perhaps they're passive, unwilling to contribute to a community effort. This inaction, it's suggested, could lead to continued poverty later on.
Okay. And then the contrast, the stern soldier.
Right. This soldier seems stern, maybe gruff, but in a past life, he'd done this incredibly noble thing, protected an elderly couple and returned their hidden gold without taking any for himself.
So that unseen good deed.
Led to wealth in a future life, even though his outward manner might still seem stern, maybe a residue from being a soldier. It shows how hidden positive karma can manifest.
It really highlights how complex the mix of good and bad karma is within each person. Appearances can be so deceiving.
Absolutely. Which leads into how we perceive spiritually advanced people, saints.
How do they differ, according to the talk?
The main difference isn't that they never make mistakes. Apparently only Buddhas are completely error-free, but that they predominantly act rightly. Their actions are overwhelmingly positive.
And our limited understanding might cause us to misjudge them.
Exactly. Ordinary people might not grasp the wisdom behind their actions.
Hmm.
There was that anecdote about the famous Hoa Tun, the senior monk.
Oh yeah, his disciples misunderstood him in old age.
Some did, yes. They
Remember?
saw his reduced activity, and some even left him. But his peaceful, clear-minded passing revealed his high level of spiritual attainment. It showed that ordinary minds can't always comprehend the actions or states of the enlightened.
That makes sense. It requires a different perspective. Now, shifting to a really difficult scenario, the thief. Someone who harms, steals, even kills. If the victim's karma meant they were due to suffer, is the thief still responsible?
That's a challenging question, touching on free will versus karmic unfolding. The speaker explains karmic retribution can happen in roughly 3 ways.
Okay, what are they?
First, wenji is so, like enemies meeting again, past grievances playing out now. Second, trine boining hintung votin, paying karma through seemingly unintentional events, accidents, that kind of thing.
And the third?
Trung hup nong kwai, a coincidence of karma. The victim's time to experience bad karma happens to coincide with the perpetrator's time of creating bad karma, even if they weren't linked in the past.
So even if the victim was somehow due for suffering.
The thief absolutely still creates negative karma for themselves through their intentional harmful actions. Their choices matter.
Right, it doesn't absolve them.
Not at all. And this connects to the Buddha's compassion, illustrated by the story of Angulimala.
The serial killer who repented.
Yes, he caused immense suffering, but after encountering the Buddha, he turned his life around, practiced diligently, and even attained enlightenment. The Buddha, it's explained, recognized that Angulimala's actions were partly driven by past karmic debts needing resolution. It allowed for compassion, not just condemnation.
That's profound, but this understanding of karma, it shouldn't lead to just giving up, right? To passivity.
Definitely not. That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
The law of karma isn't an excuse for inaction. Even when facing hardship, effort is still necessary.
So just sitting back and saying, oh, well, it's my karma, isn't the right approach.
No. In fact, the speaker says not working, wasting time. That itself creates negative karma. It's like throwing away your potential, your resources.
So even if someone is poor, they should still try to do good.
Yes. Contribute in whatever way you can. If you can't give money, offer your time, your labor, maybe helping with projects at the temple, like the pagoda rebuilding mentioned earlier. Keep generating positive causes.
Maintain that agency. Now, the talk addressed a potential misuse of karma, particularly regarding social inequality.
Yes, a very important point. The speaker shared a personal observation from a trip to India, seeing stark social divisions being justified by a distorted view of karma.
How so?
Some wealthy people apparently believed the poor deserved their suffering due to past karma and therefore didn't need help or shouldn't be helped.
Wow, that's a really harsh interpretation. And wrong, according to the speaker.
Completely wrong from the Buddhist perspective shared in the talk. Compassion and actively helping those in need are fundamental. The speaker even used reciprocal logic. If you refuse to help the poor now, maybe you'll face similar difficulties yourself later.
So helping is essential. But is it just about material aid?
Not entirely. True merit, real benefit, comes from combining help with wisdom. Providing material support is good, but also guiding people with Dharma teachings so they understand how to change their own karma is even better.
Help them help themselves, essentially, by understanding these principles.
Exactly. And there's also a caution about how we give. Generosity needs wisdom.
You mean like giving too much?
Potentially, yes. The talk references a teaching from Confucius, Kuntu huani but fi. A virtuous person is kind, but not extravagant or wasteful in their giving.
So showering someone with luxury they can't handle or don't need?
That could be an example. Giving things far beyond the recipient's current capacity or merit might actually be harmful. The idea is to help appropriately and encourage them to build their own merit.
Okay, so find the right balance. This seems related to how we approach effort in general, avoiding extremes.
Yes, the talk highlights two incorrect extremes regarding karma and effort. One is complete resignation. It's all karma, I can't do anything. The other is relentless, blind striving, ignoring circumstances entirely.
Neither is ideal. What's the middle path?
Striving? Yes, making effort, but doing so with mindfulness, with awareness of conditions and acceptance of what is, while still working towards improvement. It's effort combined with wisdom.
That makes sense. And the parable of the banker's son illustrated the importance of choice, didn't it?
Beautifully. This wealthy young man inherited a fortune, but squandered it all on pleasure instead of using it for good deeds or spiritual practice. He ended up destitute.
A cautionary tale.
Very much so.
Hmm.
And the Buddha's explanation of the story is key. He outlined how, depending on the choices the son could have made with his wealth, he could have achieved various levels of spiritual attainment, even becoming an arhat.
It really shows the power we have and how we use our blessings, our opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads directly to the idea of directing the merit from our good deeds.
Hung Vao Vo Thung, directing towards the Supreme. What does that mean exactly?
It means consciously dedicating the positive energy, the merit, from our good actions, not just towards worldly rewards in the next life, like being richer or more beautiful, but towards the ultimate goal, Buddhahood, liberation for all beings.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Offering flowers to the Buddha. Instead of wishing, may I be beautiful in my next life, you wish, may this merit help me and all beings attain enlightenment.
Or helping build a house for someone poor.
Instead of just wishing, may I have a nice house next life, you'd wish, may this person find peace and encounter the Dharma, may this act contribute to universal liberation.
And releasing fish.
Same principle. Not just wishing for long life or wealth for yourself, but wishing, may these fish be reborn as humans, encounter the Dharma, and attain liberation. It elevates the intention.
Applying this to the pagoda rebuilding itself.
Instead of contributing and wishing for a grand mansion in the future, the higher intention is to wish, may this pagoda flourish. May it be a place where countless beings find the path. May all attain supreme enlightenment.
It shifts the focus entirely, from personal gain to universal benefit. That's powerful. The talk then connects karma to something very contemporary. The environment.
Yes, a very relevant connection. It discusses the current global environmental crisis, climate change, resource depletion, linking it to human overconsumption and destructive habits.
Driven by desire, basically.
Exactly. From a Buddhist perspective, this extravagant consumption creates enormous negative karma, not just for individuals, but collectively, threatening the planet itself. The talk even mentioned a Hollywood movie depicting Earth fighting back.
So there's a call for a new kind of ethics.
A new ethics of living simply. Reducing our consumption, electricity, water, everything. It's presented as a way to protect the Earth, to practice compassion for the planet and future generations.
And this isn't entirely new, is it? The talk mentioned Ho Chi Minh.
As an early example, yes. His famously simple lifestyle was highlighted as embodying this principle long before it became a mainstream concern.
So personal conservation, saving electricity, water, it's actually a form of good karma.
Absolutely. It prevents waste, conserves scarce resources, prevents things like power outages that affect everyone. It extends to reducing waste in general, recycling. The talk even playfully suggested evaluating your merit by how much trash you produce.
Huh. That's a confronting thought. Living simply also ties into spiritual practice.
Yes, going to bed earlier, maybe meditating instead of consuming media late at night. It saves electricity and cultivates the mind.
Makes sense. What about diet?
Diet is mentioned as crucial for conserving global resources. Reducing meat consumption, moving towards vegetarianism, is presented as ethically important. There was even a humorous image of a celestial being judging people based on their veggie-to-meat meal ratio.
Okay, so our daily choices have these wider karmic ripples. And then there's the saying from Zen Master Baisang.
One day without work, one day without food. A very famous Zen saying.
What's the deeper meaning there? It's not just literal, right?
Now, the deeper meaning is that every day we should contribute something beneficial to the world, to society, to earn our keep, so to speak, to justify our consumption of resources.
So whether you're a farmer, a doctor, a teacher.
Whatever your profession, if it contributes positively, you are working in this sense. But what about those who can't work conventionally? The elderly, the sick?
Good question. What's the guidance there?
The talk suggests that even mental acts are contributions. Holding thoughts of compassion, praying for the well-being of all beings, dedicating mental energy towards the good, these are valuable contributions too.
So everyone can contribute something.
Yes. The idea even extends beyond death, that one can continue to mentally support good deeds and hinder harmful ones from other realms. It emphasizes continuous contribution.
Fascinating. So bringing it all together, the top ended with a reminder.
A reminder about the upcoming groundbreaking ceremony for rebuilding Tukwon Pagoda, inviting everyone, near and far, to contribute their efforts, their resources, their positive intentions to help complete that significant project.
A practical application of everything discussed.
Exactly. It's about putting these principles of deep karma, merit, and contribution into action for the benefit of the community and ultimately all beings.
So the key takeaway really is this intricate web of cause and effect, spanning lifetimes, where our intentions and actions, seen and unseen, have profound consequences.
Absolutely. It encourages you, the listener, to reflect on that interconnectedness, how your actions affect not just you, but others, the planet.
Which leaves us with a final thought to ponder. How do even our small, everyday choices ripple through our own karmic journey and the collective experience? What kind of ripples do you want to create?